ARMA series. And it's here's some screenshots of some generic errors of the message. You cannot play, edit this mission. It's dependent on downloadable content that has been deleted, such as that error message, or one like this, or you got one like this. They all say the same thing. Now, if you try to edit this mission in the editor, you will also get basically the same error message, and it will abort out and just open the map. So, for example, in this map right here, Stratus, let's say you have units all up and around the airport. You go into editor, you open the editor, load this mission in, you'll get a similar error message, and then the map opens up, and there won't be a single troop there because it's not loading them in. It just gives you the map. So how do you fix it? Sometimes, if you're lucky, it's a very quick and simple fix. Most times, sadly, it is not. So what causes it? It causes basically when the mission file says you're using mods XYZ, but in reality, you're using mods ABC. Now, it could be that the map author designed the map with cup units and you don't have cup units loaded. Or, as in one case, the mod author created the mod originally with the name of ABC, and now he has changed it to XYZ. So when you go to load it in, there's a different name. You still got the same mod, but he's changed the name, but the mission file doesn't know that, so ARMA pukes on it. So how do we fix that? So I have an actual mission here file that I use for it live, and I will show you how to fix this problem. So the very first thing you want to do, and the error is contained in the Mission.SQM file, so the very first thing you want to do, and notice I said the very first thing, is copy it and paste it. In other words, make a backup of the file. In my 35 plus years in IT tech, I don't know how many people I've seen lose stuff and screw up stuff because they would not make and take that very simple first step. So always make a backup. Never ever do anything without making a backup. Now, once we got the backup made, as you see I've done here, the second thing is we want to open up the mission file itself. Now, I recommend you use Notepad++. It's very good, has a lot of features, and one of the features is it has a plugin for ARMA itself. So we'll open up the mission file, edit with Notepad++, it comes up, and here we go. Now I'm going to show you where it is. So for example, the Kimi UI. Now the error is contained in two locations within the mission file. One is in the add-ons class, and if you scroll down, then the second one is the add-on metadata. So this is where, see, here's the Kimi UI optional right here. This is where it's at. So what you got to do is a two-stage process. You have to go in here and remove it from here. Then you got to come down to the add-ons and remove it down here. Now that's no big deal. Oh, it's simple. I could do that. Yeah, you can. With the add-on stuff above, you can do that. You can just go and delete it, and that's that. However, with the add-on metadata, not so fast. So if I delete number 2, for example, if I just delete that out, do that right there, I now have to come in and rename that item 2, item 3, item 4. I have to go through, in this case I got 38 items. I have to renumber this 37 times. So it can be a real pain, especially if you have more than one item in there to renumber. And then you run into a problem, did I get the item number right? Did I skip one? Did I go, for example, 1, 2, 4, for example? Did I delete a semicolon or a bracket by mistake when I was doing this? You got all these problems. So it can be a mess. And in this case, I'm going to show you, this is a real world example that has happened to me within the past 3 months. One of them was Kimi changed his mod. He did have it called Kimi _ whatever, and then he renamed it HMD Kimi. This happens. Cup did the same thing too. They used to have this file in here, CA miscellaneous. Now they renamed it Cup _ CA miscellaneous. So when I opened up these files, I got errors with the Cup. The Kimi thing still worked because I had the new and the old mod loading, which is not good. So we need to correct this file to correct the errors that I showed you earlier. So how do we do it? Well, you go in here, and as far as add-ons, it's real simple. You just find them, delete them. There you go. That one's gone. We got 2 here. We get rid of those just like that. And I think that's all of Kimi. Pacho skins, also, those are part of the Kimi mod. We get rid of those. They're not using HMD Kimi, just the Kimi one. And we get rid of the CA miscellaneous. We get rid of that. Now, if this is all we had to do, we could save the file right now and it'll be fine. And sometimes that's the case. You'll have a mod listed up here that's not down here. You don't know until you do a search, but if, notice I said if, it's only in the add-ons. At this point in time, you could save it and go. You're done. 99% of the time, that's not the case, as it is in this one. So, what do? So, we'll use find, and we'll search for all Kimi references. And there's right here, class item 1. That's the first one. So, we're going to take that, and we're going to go ahead and delete it. Like I said, you saw me highlight the whole entire thing. It starts with, it says class, and it ends with the right bracket with a semicolon. This, what you see highlighted, is the entire item that needs to be deleted. So we'll hit the delete key. Whoops, wrong side. We'll hit the delete key and it's gone. And what I want to do for the fun of it is put in several spaces. And I notice it goes from 0 to 2. Let's keep that in mind. So we'll come back to Kimi and we'll go to the next one. And here it is 7. Now if you notice, and I always will recommend do this, always look at one class below, because sometimes they're together. In this case, this is the case. So it's 7 and 8 are both Kimi underscore. So we'll delete those out. Hit enter just for the fun of it. We'll search again, and that's all of them. Now, excuse me, we had another one. We had the Pacho we need to find, and there's Pacho. He's number 11. So we'll go down and delete these out. And we'll put a couple spaces in there too. But there was one other one. It was that CA miscellaneous. So CAMISC. And there he is, item number 35. So we'll go down and delete that one out. And we'll put a couple spaces in like that. Now, at this point in time, we have removed all the offending error messages. It would be nice if you could just save it right now and go. And I've actually tried this years ago, because you had the same problem, and if I remember correctly, in ARMA 2. But if I tried to save it, I was hoping that ARMA, when it would pull it in, would renumber the class item numbers for you automatically. No, it doesn't. So what happens is it loads in the mission file, it reads through this. Okay, class item 0. Okay, so there's now going to be a class item 1. Whoops, there is no class item 1, and it pukes. It also is going to puke on this because there's not 38 items here anymore. I'm not sure how many, but there's not 38 because we deleted several of them, so they're no longer there. So this is where you have to go in and renumber. So I would have to come in and say class item 1, then come down here and say class item 2. I would have to go all the way down this entire list and do such, which is a big pain. So this is where my program comes in handy. At this point in time, this is where you use my application, which takes care of all of this. So what you want to do is find a starting and stopping place and be consistent. What I recommend is start at the class AddOnsMetaData line and end one line above the random seed and highlight everything in between. As I'm doing right now. Use the page down. And here we go. Excuse me. Random seed. There we are. Everything in between there has now been highlighted. And at this point in time, all we want to do is select copy. It's now copied. We can, and do not do nothing else. Do not unhighlight this. Leave it alone. Just minimize. We minimize this too. So now we're going to run my program, and it's over here. We're going to run it, and you come up to the screen right here. You have several options involved. Under actions, you got YouTube how-to video, which is this video, and of course exit, which is self-explanatory. Same thing with exit button down here, self-explanatory. All these buttons have tooltips under that tell you what goes on. Now that data that we copied from the file would go right here in the text window, and as it says, click the clear window before starting, and this is the clear window up here. However, see, you would have to click this, paste your data in, then click go. Or if you want to be lazy and be quick, you can click clear, paste, and go, and this will do all three at one time. But I'm going to do it manually, so let's say we'll click clear window. We'll come down here, right click, and say paste. As you can see, here's the code. Now remember, we went from item 0 to item 2 with spaces in between, as you can see right there. And now we click go. As you see what happens, it is now renumbered 33 items and class 0, class 1, and you notice there are no more spaces. The spaces have been removed, and this is the entire thing right here. This is it right there, the entire thing. So all we'd have to do is say copy to clipboard and paste it in. But we're going to go one step further. We're going to go back and just show you what it looks like doing it all the way. So we'll start over. We'll say copy, minimize, run the program, and this time we're going to click clear, paste, and go. Bam, there we go. It's done. We come down and click copy to clipboard. We'll click that. We'll go back to the Notepad program, and this is why I told you not to unhighlight it, because you don't have to do it, but right click and say paste, and it is now inserted. As you can see, there it is right there. Item 0, item 1, no spaces. It goes all the way through. One small minor thing, it's no big deal. It does put a space, as you can see where the cursor's at. There's a space where all the Z's are. No big deal. When you pull it into the editor, you save it and pull it back out, it will do that right there. That's not going to hurt nothing at all. So you're fine. So at this point in time, you just click save, and that's it. And then you can exit out of the program. You are done. And if we come back in, just actually open it back up, you can see there's the data right there, all fine and dandy. No muss, no fuss. It works like a champ, and it reorders the stuff, and this will eliminate these error messages that you see here. This is how you remove them and fix them. And yes, to be honest with you, if you came in and there was 100 items, and the very last one, item 99, was the problem one, you'd probably be quicker just taking that one out and just renumbering the last item, changing 100 to 99, for example. You'd probably be quicker to do that than to use this program. But if you have multiple units, or if it's stuck in the middle, for example, it's number 50 you have to remove, then you won't have to renumber 50 items in there. So 51 will become 50, 52 become 51, and so forth, and it will take a lot of time. This removes all that work, makes it quick and simple. I can fix files like this in a matter of less than 60, well, I would say 60 seconds, but once I have the offending items removed, I can fix it within seconds. So if you have any questions, you can contact me via the information that's on the YouTube page here. You're more than welcome if you have any additions, suggestions, comments, bugs, which there shouldn't be any. This will not, by the way, this will not check syntax or anything like that. So if you got errors in your mission file, it's not going to check them. It's not going to correct them. It's not going to do nothing. But as it says right here, class item renumber. That's all it does, is renumber those items and remove spaces from between them. That's it. If you have any questions or anything, make sure you give me a holler and let me know. Thank you very much. Enjoy.